Okay, guys, so it's 10:10 in the morning right now, 10:10 a.m. on this Wednesday of April 19th, I believe. And I just saw the trailer. Yes, they finally released a trailer for Tiny Toons Looniversity. That's right. They just released the trailer. It's a 1-minute trailer, kind of acting like a promotional, video for the university itself, or Looniversity itself. And my gosh, they got me hooked. They have me hooked here. They have everybody here, not just Tiny Toon wise, but they also have Looney Tune wise as well, including, yes, if we were wondering if she'd be in it, she's in it. She's part of the cafeteria team. I'm sure she's going to be part of more activities and stuff, because obviously, as we know from the original, the Looney Tunes not only acted like teachers for certain classes, but they were teachers for multitude, I should say, of classes. So I'm not going to be surprised if she's involved in more than just working, in the cafeteria, making food and all that. And who I'm talking about is Lola Bunny. Yes, Lola is in the show. So yes, Babs will have a female rabbit mentor this time around. Instead of having an episode where she has to search for one, she will have one right off the bat in Lola Bunny. That I appreciate. That I'm happy about. Now I will say this. Does it seem like some of the scenes in this trailer, does it seem like some of these scenes in these trailers, like when Buster and Babs show up, and then you see Buster and Plucky eating pizza, like, in a game, like in a video game or something like that, competing against each other. Does it look like there's some Cal Arts, influence in there, or Cal Arts style to it? Yes, there is some Cal Arts style to that. I am not going to deny that whatsoever. But outside of that, this to me feels like, Tiny Toons, not just rebooted, but it feels, like a huge positive successor to Tiny Toons as a whole. Now, I know some people were frowning upon the fact that basically the leaked episode that was not completed, but the leaked episode came out. I know some people were frowning at the fact that it felt like Tiny Toons took a nosedive, that the creators didn't know what they were doing. But here, this trailer shows like they knew what they were doing. It shows that they were fans of the original show. Now, I do understand that a trailer sometimes can be deceiving. Sometimes the best, sometimes the worst movies, I should say, will end up having a good trailer, making them seem better than what, they're going to be. And when you go to see that movie, you see that it's not exactly what the trailer was promoting. So I can understand that there's a little doubt, little interpretation, if you will, or interpretation, if you will. I understand that. But to me, I'm willing to give it a chance, because it looks like what they're highlighting mostly is the fact that you're going to get Tiny Toons the way you knew it. Now, what I do like about it in this video, in this trailer, is that they highlight the several, institutes in the Looniversity. Like, of course, the dorm halls, Merry Melodies, Fudd Hall, and everything. That's cool. But I also like the fact that we have a poetry library, or poetry lobby, I believe. I like that. I like the fact that we have a Warner Brothers, that's what it said, Warner Brothers Excellence in Visual Gags Observatory, or laboratory, whatever you want to call it. So I like that. I like the fact that they have an all-around tuna bowl, as they call it, basically an all-around stadium for sports, whether it's soccer, football, whatever. So I like that they put that in there. And I do like the fact, and I know some people might be critical about it, but I do like the fact that the football team this time around, when they do football games, because they're obviously going to do an Acme Bowl-like episode, is going to include every character. It's not just going to be, okay, we're going to start out with the male characters and the girls are going to be cheerleaders. No, they're actually taking that second half or that last half of that episode of the original Acme Bowl, and they're running with it. They're saying, no, every toon is involved. So I love that. I love that they're doing that. But what I also like is you get the inclusion of other characters, or at least Tiny Toon versions of said characters from, Looney Tune, Merry Melodies, 7 Arts cartoons that you didn't think were possible. Or did you, well, not possible, but you didn't think would show up. I mean, we have freaking Cool Cat. Cool Cat, ladies and gentlemen, at least it's I would assume a descendant, a younger version inspired by Cool Cat, but we have him in this. We have him. We also have, other characters, based on classic Looney Tune characters like Sam the dog and stuff. You have, what is it? That goat kid from the classic, Porky Pig shorts of the 30s. He's got a Tiny Toon representative. You got a dog in there that I think is supposed to be what's that name? Charlie the dog. Maybe I'm guessing that's who he represents. Charlie the dog. You got somebody representing him. I love that, and I also love the fact that all the characters, yes, most of them do wear clothing, except for, it looks like Calamity, I believe. But most of them have a distinct look. Like Fifi, yes, Fifi is here. It looks like she's going to be she's going to be the, I guess you could say the barrette girl, if you will. She's not going to wear a barrette cap or anything, but she's going to be like the girl you find at the college cafe in Java place, if you will. She's going to be more like the, life is like a lime kind of deal. She's going to be very poetry-like, because we see her, standing in front along with one of the newer characters. I think it's the Charlie Dog Tiny Toon character, whatever he is, or whoever he represents. We see her standing, and reading a book in front of the poetry library. So she's going to be very poetry based. I love that. I love you giving her that characteristic. Overall, I'm cool with this. Heck, and again, speaking of characters that you wouldn't think were in there, what about that magician mouse, whatever his name was? That was kind of based on W.C. Fields and all that, but he was a magician. He's in here. He's going to show up in here. So yeah, I like the idea that what we're getting here with this teaser trailer, this promo for the Looniversity, I love the fact that it's showing us that we're going to get more than just, the return of the classic Tiny Toon characters and everything. We're going to get inclusion of characters you didn't expect to see included, including characters that did show up later in the Looney Tunes lore. But basically, we're not in time to be part of Tiny Toons, but now will be. Like I said, Lola Bunny's going to be in it. Oh my goodness! That is great. And it does look like the Looney Tunes are going to have more of a role, not just as mentors, and as teachers, but more of a role story-wise, depending on what the story involves them in. Now, I know some people might say, oh, that takes away from, the focus on the Tiny Toons. Not exactly. If they balance it out like they did in the original, it should be good. It should be absolutely good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Because, again, if you're going to bring in obscure characters from the Merry Melody days, 7 Arts days and everything, to show up, either in a Tiny Toon represented form or not, that tells me that you never know who else could show up. I do know that there is a storyline that's going to get set up in the first episode according to the leak, from what the leak has shown. I do know that is going to be set up, and that the rivalry between Montana and Buster is going to be, established. I get that. But outside of it, this looks really good. It looks really good, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this show this fall. I cannot wait for it. I can tell you, Andre Meadows of Black Nerd Comedy, he's going to be doing a video on this, and he cannot wait because he's a big fan. But I cannot wait myself because this is something I grew up on. I grew up on Tiny Toons from the early 90s. I think, what was it, 1990, 91 they debuted? 90, I believe. I grew up on them. And to see them make a return in this manner, I am all for. Now, I know there are going to be some changes that not many people are fond of. Like, one of the many changes, obviously, that it looks like they're still going to stick with is instead of Buster and Babs not being related, they are going to be related. They're going to be twins, if you will. So I know that's something people don't like and everything, but I think they're going to compensate for that because I think what's going to happen is maybe it's just me, but it looks like because there's one scene in the trailer where you have Babs and Plucky dressed up like professors, and they're shaking hands and everything, and then you see, the edit of it where there's like the joke of two potential whatever, and then you hear Babs going like, and she's lifting up the hand of Plucky who's like not amused and everything. Don't quote me on this, but it looks like they're trying to set up Babs being with Plucky since, in this show, Buster and Babs are going to be brother and sister, twin siblings. So if that's the case, you have to wonder if they go with a little romance in the show, who would Buster end up with? And I think Buster's going to end up with Fifi. I really do. Now, Hampton still could go with Fifi, that's fine. And Buster could end up with the new Shirley the Loon, and I'm cool with that too. But I think logically, they're gonna probably, if they do go any romance route with some of the characters, Babs is gonna probably end up with Plucky, or even Hampton maybe, who knows. She'll end up with one of them. At least they'll tease that. And I think Buster is going to be teased with either being with Fifi or Shirley. Again, that's all depending on what they do down the line. It all depends on what they do down the line. Now, there are some characters that are absent that might be showing up. Like Elmira's not in there, so just because she's not in the trailer doesn't mean she's not going to show up. If she does, that'll be a surprise because we do see her in the promotional artwork, of the characters coming out of the TV, just like in the classic promo artwork. So, there's a good chance she might show up. We're not saying she will, because there has been controversy about that, whether or not she's going to be included. But, outside of that, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the interaction between Buster and Bugs. I can't wait. Obviously, the moment people are going to want to see interaction between Babs and Lola. That's what they're going to look forward to. And also Buster, can you imagine, because you know how they do those, that attractive wild takes by the by the male and female characters in Tiny Toons and Animaniacs? Can you imagine Buster's reaction he sees Lola? I mean, holy smokes. And it looks like what we're getting here with Lola is a hybrid of Looney Tunes show Lola and Space Jam Lola. That's what we're getting. That's what it looks like to me. We're getting Looney Tunes, show Lola, and Space Jam 2 Lola. That's what we're getting, in my opinion. Now, could I be wrong about that? Maybe, but it definitely looks like that's what we're getting. But overall, I can't say any more than what I can right now. This trailer has definitely got me hyped. I cannot wait. Again, I know there's going to be some things people may or may not agree with, that, but I'm all for this. I'm all for this. Again, is there going to be some influence of CalArt's style in there? Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of influence of CalArt's style. Well, not a lot, but there's obviously going to be some moments. There's no doubt. But outside of that, this definitely looks like it's going to stay true to what made Tiny Toons what it is. The gags are there, the visual gags and tropes are there. The one they didn't show was Lustful Melt, but I guarantee that's going to be in there. I just got this feeling. You cannot do a Tiny Toons show without that. Yes, they did an Animaniacs reboot without it, but here, this is Tiny Toons. They're putting a lot of emphasis on the gags and all that, the tropes. You cannot do a show like this, putting emphasis on those kind of things without having the Lustful Melt gag in there, and I think they will. But overall, I'm hyped. I'm ready for this. Whether I'm working at that time or not, which I should be, I'm hyped for this. I am hyped for this. But what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts on this teaser trailer, that was pretty much presented as a promotional video for the Looniversity? What are your thoughts? Give me those in the live chat as well as in the comments below. Love to hear from each and every one of you. How do you feel about it overall? What are you looking forward to the most about it? And until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Take care. God bless. I am out.